Welcome back to the VYBE Guys Podcast. I'm Brandon.
I'm Jaron.
And I'm Brent. And we are the VYBE Guys.
Rip Aaron, you know what I mean? He's not here.
I just want to get to the elephant in the room, okay? Is Aaron doing okay? Where's he at?
I stepped all over your bed. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to.
It's okay. There's going to be a whole bit about, like differences of certain people, but it's okay. Aaron's not here, so he can take the fall for this one.
Yeah, Aaron
died.
That's right.
He's dead again, boys.
Poor guy. You know what's f***ed up? He's actually sick.
Not like that sick, but he's
He's fine.
He's fine.
He's just under the weather.
That's right.
He'll be back next week.
Yes.
If I let him, you know what I'm saying?
Homeboy went to the hospital and everything.
He's okay. He's okay.
I'm not, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of stuff has happened to you the last week, huh?
I just saw you in my peripheral.
What happened there?
I'm just a huge fan. I won a contest. I'm Trent.
Trent Stokely.
Trent
Stokely.
Yeah. A lot happened since I went to Iowa, and I don't have a stash anymore.
Lost a friend.
It's coming back, I promise. I lost a lot of my aura. It's slowly but surely coming back. My aura. I might as well be Zoe Stark.
Negative aura.
Negative aura. Negative aura over here.
Zoe Stark catching strays on the podcast.
Hey, look. I mean, when you got no aura.
I need to put somebody down while I look like a child.
I think you look good, and also your facial has grown back a little too fast.
I appreciate. Hey, I've been putting testosterone in my ass cheeks.
It's been.
Don't do that, kids. I was
You hear
just
that?
kidding. I was just kidding.
The next in line program. this is your next guy right here.
Sign this, man.
Sign me up, brother.
Hey, maybe they'll put you in a tag team with AJ Styles.
Bang.
This is terrible.
This is terrible. What a left turn we're at.
No, but I asked you actually to let me in Alpha Sig for like 1 week so I can get beat up by Killer Kelly. If you let me in, I wouldn't have turned on you. That's your fault.
I appreciate you. A lot is my fault. I trusted somebody that I thought was my brother and turned on me.
I've been there.
Things went sour, but it's okay. I will get my comeuppance. I will get my payback.
When I said that, I'm sorry. I said I've been there. But everything's gonna be okay, man.
Everything will be okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I got a plan.
Okay.
I like that.
Just know I got a plan.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are starting this podcast.
And that's what happens when there's 3 people. It just goes anywhere we can.
So we put on Twitter to send in your which is better prompts, and we are going to be starting with Dixie Trues 8.
Thought it was going somewhere.
He says, which is better, Money in the Bank as its own pay-per-view or Money in the Bank at WrestleMania?
Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. I miss that so much. It had its own, aura is the word of the day. It had its own aura, and I miss it incredibly. Like when they had the ladder match at WrestleMania 40, I was so excited for it.
Yeah.
It was still great, but nothing hits more than Money in the Bank at WrestleMania, so give me that.
Considering that's like the era we grew up in is Money in the Bank at WrestleMania, I feel like that's something that especially the people in this room are used to, you know what I mean? Like that WrestleMania, when that came around, it was always Money in the Bank, Undertaker streak. Now all of it's gone. All of it's gone. And, doesn't really take away the life of WrestleMania, but, it definitely helped.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I would be more excited about like Money in the Bank being an opener to a Mania or even like the second match on a Mania rather than it being its own pay-per-view. Because people call it a big 5 pay-per-view now.
Yeah.
I don't really see it as a big show other than the ladder matches itself, you know what I mean? But
I will say a lot of the Money in the Bank pay-per-views have been very, very good.
Yes.
Like a lot of great moments too.
Like when Cena returned on Roman, that was like after the pandemic, that was the first we're back.
Yeah.
That was on it. All 3 members of the Shield held the world championship.
That's a great point.
At a Money in the Bank. Like that's probably one of my favorite pay-per-views ever, maybe, because that was a crazy good card.
Did you mention Punk Cena from 2011? There you go.
You know what? Maybe
it is a big 5. Maybe it is a big show.
Maybe we need to rethink this, but Money in the Bank is definitely put on.
Yeah, no, I would say Money in the Bank at WrestleMania felt more special, but I do really like Money in the Bank as its own pay-per-view, especially now that there's 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches.
Yes.
Back in the day when there was just one, I think I would have just said WrestleMania. But now that there's two, men's and women's, I think I like it more as its own pay-per-view.
I agree
because
with you.
instead of what's like a random pay-per-view like Payback, like not that it's terrible, but there's not a gimmick to it. So
Fair.
it's just like at least Money in the Bank has something going for it.
I agree with you.
It's one of those things where that it's something that shouldn't, I guess, have a gimmick pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That's just like a thing that we do every year, like the Royal Rumble, not like Hell in a Cell where you have to have. They're doing that a little bit with War Games where it's like we have these teams of 4 and for 6 months we're going to have them fight in other combinations until November. Oh, wait a minute.
Big payoff.
Yeah, big payoff, War Games. So maybe it is good as its own pay-per-view, but I wouldn't hate to see maybe, one Money in the Bank match night 1, the other one on night 2. You know what I mean?
I would love that.
Yes.
I would love that. But like it would definitely kill off the entirety of the pay-per-view of Money in the Bank, so I don't see them ever doing it ever again.
Sure.
I would like to see them rebrand, however. I would like to see the briefcases change a damn color.
Yeah. I hope we get more custom briefcases like what they just did with Damien.
I just say like I don't know. I don't like the green briefcases personally.
Me either.
I
The
want
John Deere
I want them to go
briefcase.
back to like that. I want them to go back to that gold Seth Rollins boy.
Oh, yeah. That was really
They
nice.
didn't use that often.
No, I would prefer that.
I think they only used it like once or twice.
Am I wrong on that?
I feel like Seth was the only one that had the gold briefcase,
I
right?
think Dean had it, which means Sheamus must have had it too.
No, Sheamus did have it. Yeah, no, never mind. I was wrong.
Did Orton have it?
When did Orton win?
Or is that one? It was one of the.
No, Orton had a red one.
That was a
Orton
red
had a
one.
red
Was it a
one.
red one? Okay. 'Cause I was about to say.
I don't hate that either, like red and blue.
Oh
just
yeah,
for
it was
Raw
like
and
orangey
SmackDown.
red, wasn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
Right.
The gold one started with Rollins, and
Yeah.
it ended. Who won in 2017?
I think the last person to have the gold briefcase was Sheamus.
No, Dean had it. Dean definitely had it. Dean Ambrose.
But for like a second.
For a second.
Didn't Sheamus win after Dean? No.
He won the year before.
Oh, okay, got you.
I'm trying to think who won 2017. It doesn't really matter, but I just
No, yeah,
it's
no,
killing me now.
it's a good thing to think about. We'll have to come back to it. Shit.
Yeah, I don't remember.
We sure do.
I do not
I'm usually
remember
good
that.
at this stuff. I don't remember because the year after was Braun Strowman. I can't remember who came before. But Baron Corbin. That was the blue
Right.
one. That's the one
That's
that
when
I
they
had.
transitioned. So yeah, red and blue because they started doing the brand briefcases. Correct. That's why it was red and blue.
Yes.
That I was like, why is it red? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. We're good.
Next one comes from Damien. Which is better, CM Punk's return to WWE or Cody Rhodes becoming the undisputed WWE champion? Those are two completely different ones.
I'm gonna go with Cody Rhodes, just because that moment. I'm a little bit more biased towards because I was there and like I'll always go back mentally when we're all outside the stadium. All like little giddy kids just talking about the moment for hours, and then it turned into days and then months. Like we were there, and like we all felt that. So I'm sorry, but like my bias leans that moment because it was just something I'll remember forever.
That match has crept into like probably one of my top 3 matches of all time.
I have to say it's my second favorite of all time, besides obviously the one that got me into wrestling. But that one is hands down like one of my favorite memories of all time in my life.
I think this would be a harder choice to make if Punk hadn't already returned to wrestling a couple of years before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree with you 100%.
If that return was like the return, then I think it'd be a little harder to choose.
Yes.
But even still, I think my heart says Cody. Because that's 4 years of a build to that specific moment.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll have to go Cody as well. Right. Like for the same exact answer, like the exact same. A little bit of bias goes into it. I mean, he literally dapped me up after he won the title.
You're the first fan that Cody Rhodes dapped up as the undisputed WWE champion.
Yeah.
That is insane to think about.
That's wild.
That is incredible. That's a flex.
A little bit.
That is a huge flex. I should have stuck my fucking hand out. I take that back immediately. I should have stuck my hand out. But no, I'm glad that happened, bro.
That's kind of crazy.
Right?
Let that sit in. He's the first fan he dapped up.
Dude, hell yeah.
That's insane. What is life?
Look at bro. Man.
And then Cena was just like,
Triple H dapped me up too.
that's what I'm dude.
All in a span of like 5 minutes.
Like,
Hey, you're getting signed, brother.
Hey, I hope so.
you had a brief moment of standing in front row for a little bit of WrestleMania 40.
Dude, that is something that like I still think about sometimes. Like even though we didn't sit front row for the whole pay-per-view, we were front row.
The cameras are still running.
You know?
We were in green shirt guy's spot.
That's crazy.
We were right there.
That is pretty cool.
That was a surreal moment. I'm not gonna lie.
I obviously wish, I was front row at WrestleMania, but
Of course.
my spot with the Undertaker directly above me.
Yeah, right?
In that little box. And I'm like, what the hell? Undertaker's literally right here.
He's really magical.
I was like, what? I said, there's no way he went to that. There's no way he was booked to be on the show.
Oh my God.
Dude, you sending that picture in our group chat made me pop more.
Yes,
because
it did.
I was not expecting, obviously we all
the
thought
list.
Stone Cold was gonna come out.
Sure.
So when Undertaker's the bell hit, I'm like, I thought he was still with Darren.
That's what I'm saying.
I checked him off the list mentally.
Yeah, same. Same.
Now as a possibility, off the list.
It's just so funny because people in my section all night would look up and start yelling things at The Undertaker, who apparently wasn't even there for the rest of the show.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so
Crazy. This one comes from Always Him. Which is better? Give Cedric Alexander a push or give Apollo Crews a push?
I'm just trying to think of who. Because, obviously, they're both great wrestlers.
They are fantastic wrestlers.
I just think who would benefit more, who's more fit to be in a prominent position. You know what I mean? Who would handle it better? I'd venture to say Cedric Alexander.
I was just about to say Cedric. I think Cedric Alexander. I think if he finds the right shtick, I think he could work it.
Yeah.
But it's by a slim margin. Apollo Crews is an insane athlete.
Yeah.
It's just a slim margin.
That one's tough because I want to say Apollo because I've always been a big Apollo Crews fan and I really liked his work with the Intercontinental Championship.
Yes.
And especially he won it at Mania too. That was crazy. I like the Nigerian gimmick too, but I don't know. I want to see Cedric have something for real. The last time we saw Cedric have a cool moment for real was Hurt Business, but even before then, the last time before that was the Cruiserweight Classic, and that was 2016. I think.
Did he win the title for a little bit? The Cruiserweight title?
No.
No?
Or I don't think he did.
I know he faced Ali for it on a pre-show of a Mania. I don't know if he was the champion or if I don't know.
I don't remember. He did win the tag titles in the Hurt Business though.
He sure did.
Yeah.
I was laughing just because I forgot completely. Because I remember because at the Apollo Crews, the Nigerian drum fight with Big E and stuff like that, I just forgot that he just turned Nigerian one day. It's just.
And he's not Nigerian anymore, by the way.
Well, did you know what his gimmick was in NXT?
What?
He could see into the future and
What is, bro?
he envisioned himself That's So Raven winning the NXT championship, and then he didn't do I think they did skits where he'd stop women getting robbed or something because he'd I'm not even kidding. I didn't watch this.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I forgot that he won the United States Championship too.
Interesting.
I think he was one of the first ones with that new design.
No, he was the very first one with that new design, wasn't he? Or was it MVP?
I think Cruz was the champion, but they made Bobby or MVP the champion unofficially, and that's when they released it. But Cruz was the
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
What the hell was the question, by the way? What was the
Who would you rather give a push to? Which would be better?
Okay.
Cedric or Apollo?
Cedric? That's no hate to Apollo Crews though.
No, not
That's
at all.
great.
You guys have seen the clip of Cedric Alexander in the Indies with Candice LeRae?
Oh,
The lumbar
my
check.
God.
Yeah.
He killed her.
That's why I slightly lean Cedric because, bro, he has a great moveset.
He does.
He could utilize that big time. That'd be really cool.
Oh yeah.
This one comes from Big Boy Dolly. Which is better, Braun Breaker is world champion or Gunther is world champion?
Gunther.
Who was the first one?
Braun Breaker. I love Braun Breaker.
I
do too, but it's Gunther time.
It's Gunther.
It's Gunther.
It's Gunther time?
It's Gunther time. Hey, what time is it? Oh, it's Gunther time.
New Jeff Rebel theme. It's Gunther time.
No, it's MVP's clock start. The tick, tick,
Oh my God.
Gunther.
Gunther.
I don't know German 1, 2, 3. I was gonna count down in German, but I don't know.
Dude, they bring back what is it? Ein, zwei, drei.
I do. I could not tell you. I don't want to shoot that weird shot.
I could be wrong. That could be French for all I know.
But to sort of back in the lane, I want to see. I think it happens at SummerSlam, and I would really love to see it.
I agree.
Absolutely.
It's about that time.
I'm excited.
Ready.
I think he'll hold it for a minute too.
Are you saying it's Gunther time?
I'm saying it's Gunther time.
I would like to think it is.
Dude, bring back the Mixed Match Challenge. We could have Gunther and Tiffany Stratton team up. It's Gunther time.
I forgot about the mixed match. I remember that.
Yeah, we should leave that.
Don't they have the arena in 2K?
They do.
They do. Oh wow.
I don't even hate the concept too much, but it doesn't need to be its own thing.
What year did that go?
I think they did it twice. I don't remember the years.
Last year, okay.
One of the winners, was it Finn and Charlotte? Didn't they win once?
Really?
I know Asuka and Miz won because Asuka had that streak still going.
I remember that.
They couldn't beat her, so they just had to win. I think it was Carmella and R-Truth that won the other one, right?
Oh.
Because it got him like Rumble spots. It got him like the number 30 in the Rumble.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and then
right.
it was inevitably Nia Jax.
Yeah, and then Nia Jax
jumped his shit.
killed R-Truth.
Yeah.
You're so right.
That makes sense. I guess like have the mixed match challenge be for something. You know what's crazy? No one remembers that besides like the Alexa Bliss and weird Braun Strowman romance. That was like what came from that.
Yeah.
I saw this recently actually. Yeah, they did like have some weird sexual tension going on.
No, a lot of sexual tension. A lot of like, maybe I might fuck him here. I don't know. Like, I'm telling you, dude, that's the kind of weird stuff they're doing.
You ever seen that video of that really big dog trying to hump that little dog? And somebody, you can't fuck that little ass dog. What are you doing?
All we're saying. Next question.
This one comes from Joel. Which is better, Shield or Bloodline 1.0? Like with Roman, Usos, Solo, Sami, and Heyman. That's the one they put.
Oh, when you said 1.0, I thought it was just like the 3 OGs. I mean, I'd venture to say the Shield.
I'll always say Shield.
Yeah, I think the Shield did more as a team. I think the Bloodline was, I mean, obviously the Usos are the longest reigning tag team champions ever, but I think the Bloodline was about Roman Reigns. I think the Shield was about 3 future world champions and stars. I think it did more for them than it did for Jay and Jimmy. And I'd venture to say Sammy. Maybe. There's like, obviously they have like character changes because of that, but we could have gotten Yeet out of nowhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I'd venture to say the Shield myself.
Give me the Bloodline.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm sorry. I do that. It inevitably led to one of the greatest stories in wrestling, period. That group, with everyone throwing the ones in the sky, everywhere you go, the shirts, they had great merch. I think, dude, that propelled the Usos. They were already like, I feel like they would have remained stagnant in the tag division if the Bloodline did not happen. They got propelled to main event of WrestleMania. Lil Uzi Vert walked him out. Well, technically Lil Wayne also walked, but that was, we're not going to talk about that Lil Wayne performance. I think all in all, they had more aura in my opinion. The Shield is legendary, one of the greatest factions of all time, but for me, biasly, the Bloodline led to more that I genuinely cared about, if that makes sense.
It's hard to argue with that because you're right. My only thing with that is I think the Bloodline was must watch when Roman was there. I think the Bloodline, and I don't think it was never necessarily like bad, but I think Roman brought that fire to the team, and he wasn't there as much. Whereas the Shield, that was like that was them. That was the unit every single week.
I understand.
You know what I mean? And sometimes you get a Roman Reigns promo and a match, and there was a lot of bad stuff in that run. Sometimes, like I know you guys were there. That Finn Balor rope breaking spot, that shit was buns. That shit was terrible. You know what I mean? So. I think there was more good from the Shield and plus the breakup, but they're both very similar in how they ended, I guess. When would you say the Bloodline like ended? The 1.0 version ended?
I think they killed it off. Oh, 1.0 ended?
Yeah, WrestleMania?
Yeah, WrestleMania 40?
Yeah.
For sure. Part of me like wants to throw Sammy in there because I feel like Sammy was a big tool in the 1.0.
Yeah.
He's what like sent that rocket ship up when he was entangled, getting the comedy spots, making everybody break. I think that's what added the Bloodline like meteoric rise.
Yeah.
Is the whole Sammy angle.
I think the conflict that Roman and Jay had was like amazing,
So good,
from the start,
so good.
And then I think after that, besides like the matches were always cool. I just feel like it didn't really feel as good as it did until that whole Sammy War Games stuff started happening, and then that's when we got, like this is a fantastic thing. I think there's a good chunk in there where it's like
it needed it because it was definitely at that part where like you don't know who's going to turn on Roman first because it was that, you know, like he choked out Jay and then like Jamie's on the fence and like they had that weird dynamic. I see what you're saying, that little gap.
I don't disagree with you though either. I think you could go either way.
You could like, granted, like, you know, Shield has like better accolades, I would say. Like, I mean, well, you can't talk about, you know, Roman's longest reign or whatever, but like all of them are like top tier world champions elsewhere. You know what I mean? Like they're all elite performers. So it's hard to argue.
Yeah, it really is.
No,
It's a great question.
That's a great question.
Because like both of those groups had like major ripple effects on wrestling as a whole. Because if you think about like the Shield, like you said, you know, they were all 3 world champions, like inside of WWE as well. Like, and then you have Mox winning the world championship in AEW. Like, all 3 are still top guys. The breakup of the Shield is one of the best breakups in history, if probably not the best.
That chair shot and the Sami Zayn chair shot to the back both equal like crazy pops. But yes, that Seth Rollins one was just so out of nowhere.
And with the Bloodline too, like they're still, I mean, of course the Bloodline is still kind of going on, not 1.0, but like even the ripple effect of Sammy's popularity. Like I think Sammy was always popular, but now he's like incredibly over because of the Bloodline.
Yep.
And now that translates to the story with like Alpha Academy. Like Otis getting a super big pop like that doesn't happen without Sammy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, I mean, it doesn't happen without all of them, of course, but like Sammy is the key part in that, in making people care.
That's a great point.
That's a good point. It's a trickle down effect.
It is.
It's crazy.
And I mean, think about it too with Jay. Like Jay is a top merchandise seller because of the Bloodline. Like
It's insane.
I still say the Shield. I'm biased. They're my favorite faction of all time. But you can't discredit either team. Like they're incredible.
Didn't Sammy also like start the Yeet stuff? So that, even going back to Sammy for that, I think didn't he start saying it, and that's like when everybody else started saying it, like in the group, because like there was like, oh, like
Eat my dog.
Eat my dog. Like,
Oh yeah,
I think I could be completely wrong.
Maybe a little bit of a trickle, yeah. But I think it initially grew with Jay when he was a little drunk, and he was with Cody. And he was with Cody. I think that's where it was birthed.
Yeah.
I think that's where like that stemmed from. But I mean, yeah, they definitely were definitely saying that.
Yeah. This one comes from Crypt. Which is better, Cena versus Rock, number 1, or Cena versus Rock, number 2?
Number 1. Number 1.
I was there for number 2.
Because it was in your place.
Yeah, it sure was a number 2. I mean, listen, at the time I liked it. I was a 13-year-old boy, you know what I mean, who liked everything that WWE was giving me. Ryback versus Mark Henry, fucking right here, brother. The first match. I mean, come on, a year build, the 30-minute introduction with Machine Gun Kelly and Flo Rida.
So good.
You know what I mean? I mean, the actual, when we thought it was going to be a one-off. You know what I mean? If you had told me, hey, they're going to run this back again next year,
don't call it once in a lifetime, you jerks. That's, you know what I mean?
It's fucked up because they had it planned since like before 27. They were going to do Rock appears at 27, 28, and 29. That was like the plan.
I believe that.
Forever. So the whole year where they had built up once in a lifetime, we knew we were doing it again.
That's crazy.
I believe that. That just sounds like it. That just sounds right.
Yeah. So.
Gotta get that tagline, brother.
Also, Rock got injured in the second match, though, so I think that might have lessened the quality of that a little bit. He like tore his tricep.
Like early on in the match, I heard.
Early.
Yeah.
But, so, you know.
Yeah, and they also like to tie it like really quickly to tie into the first one. That following night, he calls out The Rock. Oh, and Brock Lesnar returned.
Yeah.
That tied into that. So like that was really cool.
That was really cool.
Right. It was just like, oh, calling out Rock. Everyone was like, they knew. The crowd was murmuring it. Yeah. And all of a sudden that music hit. Oh, it was like adrenaline.
That's a big deal. Brock probably should win that rivalry, right?
He should have.
Oh, yeah.
He should have.
Anyway.
Who are we even talking about anymore? I don't know that guy.
Wait, who the hell is Brock Lesnar? Who the fuck?
Yeah, I don't even know who does.
I was playing 2K the other day. A true story. I was playing 2K. There's this move in there called the F5.
It looks like a really cool rare move.
It's fucking insane.
Who does that?
Nobody. People should do it.
Yo, you should put that on your moveset.
Dibs.
Dibs? Okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Undertaker losing at Mania, only to Roman, baby.
Hey, wait, what's the Undertaker streak? Roman Reigns ended the undefeated streak of the Undertaker.
That's why Roman's the greatest, bro. The only one to defeat Undertaker at WrestleMania.
You think they'd ever retcon that one day? It was Roman that did it. Like, you know how for years, 2 men have won the Royal Rumble from the number 1 position, including Shawn Michaels.
Oh, wait, from number 1?
Yeah. Well, Edge did it now, and Rhea Ripley, but like, from 2004 up until 2021, they'd be like, 2 men have won from the number 1 position, including Shawn Michaels.
Moving on.
That's it.
All right.
This next one comes from Ethan. Which is better, the current WWE logo or the Scratch logo?
Scratch logo.
I say the current one. The scratch logo is iconic. Grew up with that one. Love that one.
That's the only reason why I say this.
But
it's just iconic. I can't.
I do like how clean this one is.
It's clean.
You know, it's like one of those logos. I don't see when they'll change it. Like with the scratch logo, it was kind of a matter of time before they changed it. But this one, I don't know. I think they'll keep this one for a long time. Like
this logo makes me want to say, then, now, forever together. That's what it makes me want to say.
Look at Mark. But
step into the WWE universe, the multiverse. Would you rather?
they've had this logo like a long time. I feel like they changed their logos like sort of often back in the day. I mean, obviously when they changed from WWF to WWE, they had to do it anyway.
Had to.
I figured we would have changed it by now anyway. But in terms of what I prefer more, I do think, I mean, the new one is cleaner, but I like the other one for nostalgic reasons.
Nostalgia.
I'd venture to say the newest one. Yeah, for me.
yeah, nostalgia want to creep in and tell me the scratch logo because I love that one. But
Yeah.
this new one's too clean. It's too clean.
It's like a little crooked too. It's like this. on the bottom left corner, it'd be like this.
Got a little peen lean.
Hell yeah, brother.
Nothing wrong with that.
The next one comes from Zay. Which return is better, Bray Wyatt's return at Extreme Rules or Edge's Royal Rumble return? That one's tough.
I have a strong opinion about this one, but I'll let you guys go.
I'm going to go with Edge's return at the Royal Rumble. No discredit to Bray Wyatt's return. That return is so fucking cool. But with everything that happened that day, we've talked about it before, that was the feel-good moment that everybody needed. And I mean, Edge finally returned. And like we were talking about earlier with Punk, it's not like he returned somewhere else first and then returned. This was like the return. So I'm going to say Edge.
I was so on board with you too, because we've talked about before, how much that meant to us. But I'm gonna go with Bray Wyatt just because of like when you say better, everything that went into it with all the characters and whatnot, that just was so special. I remember like genuinely like jumping up and down. Like, granted, I was doing the same thing with Edge, but I was like hooked onto my seat. Where are we going the entire time? You know, like a Royal Rumble return is like very special, but the way the return was planned out was, I don't think can ever be redone ever.
That's when the QR code stuff started, right? Like the little like the
teasers, like someone's coming back. Yes, the White Rabbit for sure.
So my answer, honestly, may have been Edge if I had the same experience as you two did on that day. My experience was reading how probable it was that Edge was going to come back at the Rumble.
Oh yeah,
and, I've spoken about this on the podcast. I think before too. Dirt sheets and just the rumor, they ruined that.
That stinks.
And then I had to watch those same people that reported that he would return or he might return. He's in the building. Maybe he'll return. Them go, oh, and I'm like, okay. I mean, like I was like, oh yes, let's go. Edge is back. But me seeing it coming or me like expecting it to happen took away from that for me. Also, my bias. Bray Wyatt's like my second favorite wrestler ever. You know what I mean? So that meant a lot to me when it happened. I'd go Bray Wyatt. My answer's Bray Wyatt.
That's completely fair.
I had the same experience with the spoilers with the Hardy Boys at WrestleMania when they returned. I was so upset. There was people saying like, oh, Hardy Boys contract expired. Where are they going to go? What are they going to do? Some schmuck said that they were in Florida. Ruined everything for me. Yeah. I was so broke because because you already knew because the New Day was like it's gonna be a fatal four and the crowd was buzzing, and I was like, oh my god, it's the Hardys, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then they came out and I was like, I was still very excited, but I had that same feeling you did.
Wrestling's a lot cooler when spoilers like that do not happen.
No, man. We've talked about this like trillions of times, but I hate when it's spoiled.
People always go, okay, well, why are you on social media? Like, you can't. I'm not supposed to be on social media the day of the show before it happens.
Thank you.
Like, if it happens already, obviously it's ignorant to think that no one's going to talk about it online to avoid people finding out. I understand that mentality, but before,
come on, man.
You know what I mean? Like, like Punk. Like when Punk came back to WWE. No one knew because it was like maybe, but probably not because why would that happen? It's not really going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen.
And the way they went about it too with the watermark at the end, like the show. Some would say like the show was over. So like that one hit different too.
It panned out with Riddle and Daniel Cormier. Like they were.
Oh, the Bray Wyatt thing you're talking about.
Sorry, what were you talking about?
I was talking about the Punk one.
My fault. Go ahead.
No, you're
My
good.
fault.
You're good.
Oh yeah, we were together for that. That was special.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
cool.
That was a moment.
I feel like when you're like, oh, like stay off social media, that kind of dynamic, it's harder on us, I would say, like not to be that guy, but like as content creators, we have to stay in the loop with everybody on social media. All we follow really is wrestling accounts. So we're going to be the ones primed to see the spoilers before everybody.
Yeah.
Because we have to be notified with everything.
It's also people like to try to separate regular fans from the internet wrestling community. What wrestling fan doesn't have Twitter? Who doesn't have an Instagram account? You know how many people I've seen that I didn't even know like wrestling that'll follow the WWE account just because, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
When you just talked about it, when Brock Lesnar came back in 2012, when he was doing his promo, if you go back and watch it, the whole crowd's like chanting for Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Because that was the rumor that he was coming back. That was 12 years ago when like I'd venture to say less people were on Twitter than they are now. You know what I mean?
I think I just got a Twitter account.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Most people are on the internet and they're like they'll read something most of the time. You know what I mean? If you avoid seeing something, you know, obviously like good for you. But like even in the age that we are now, you cannot follow accounts sometimes and you'll still see stuff. I don't follow the Fightful Wrestling account. That's not like shade. I just don't follow it. Because I see everything they post, I see it anyway. You know what I mean? like it comes up on my For You page.
You will.
So it's
an
like
algorithm right there.
Yeah, exactly. So how the hell do you expect me to avoid it? You expect me to just not ever try to see something about wrestling? I like wrestling.
Yeah.
I'd like to see stuff about wrestling, but I also like to not know when something's about to happen before it happens. At least like
Yeah, because like the only thing, like the only time like where I can actually plan out trying to avoid social media is like an Avengers movie or something.
Yeah.
That's when I know to avoid Twitter. Not like on a random Monday, I'll be like, oh, like I just open up Twitter. Oh, guess what? Guess blah blah blah's returning, or like they're in town. It's like sweet.
Yeah.
You can't avoid that.
It'll always be like the moments where you're getting on social media to not even look at wrestling. Like not saying you're trying to avoid it or anything, but like you're like at the grocery store, you're like waiting in line, but like I'm bored. Just go on Twitter real quick, and then like sick spoiler.
Yeah, totally.
and I don't necessarily blame certain like news outlets and stuff because that's their job is to report like rumors and stuff like that's going on. But I think maybe there needs to be some kind of like a little warning on it before, especially I talked about it on the podcast before, having a whole not rundown, but having like knowing what's going to happen on SmackDown. Russell Votes does this a lot. He'll know something's going to happen, and then he'll like without saying it, let you know. Like he'll do a GIF, or he'll be like, "Enjoy the show" with like Jordan Grace as like the GIF on it. Like, and you're like, "What the." All right. So
and anytime like Russell Votes tweets it, it's like damn near gonna come true.
That's a very reliable source.
Yeah.
So you know,
that's the thing, bro. Just spoiler warnings would be nice.
Just a little.
I know you're doing your job, but just like let me enjoy that moment. It'd be the best returns in history. All were genuine surprise, genuine shock and awe, and that's being taken away like more and more because of social media.
Was there ever a time where like it was spoiled beforehand and it actually made you more excited, like in a positive way?
That's a great question.
Because like the one, even though I think the return would have just been better if it wasn't announced, when AEW basically was like letting us know that Punk was going to return.
That's probably
I
it.
did like that.
That's
because
probably it.
It's like I don't want to miss that like at all. So that was the one time I'm like, all right, I'm cool with a spoiler. Like,
well, it's also, I mean, like they're telling you without like telling you on the actual product. You know what I'm saying? Like doing a show in Boston, for example, and having like a little Boston with the dollar sign. It's like,
oh yeah,
because it technically could be anything, but if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? I think it's different if they're trying to entice you to watch their product rather than other people that aren't in the company telling you online, hey, this specific thing is going to happen to this person from this person at this time on this show. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. Maybe it is the same thing when they do it on television, but
it's a little different.
It is a little different, yeah.
No, I agree. The Punk one on AEW. That was like where I was like, because I genuinely wanted to see him returning, like what he was going to say, what he was going to do. That was probably like the only time for real.
The NXT Battle Royal. They were teasing, from other locker rooms. Who's that going to be?
Makes you want to tune in.
And Joe Hendry comes out. Because I was like, maybe Joe Hendry will come out. And he came out. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
That's a great way to do it.
Because it could have been anybody. Like we all like were guessing Joe Hendry because like he's one of the most popular, if not the most popular in TNA right now.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, that was a great way to do it. Honestly, I didn't even think about that one. Yeah,
That's tasteful, and that's how you do it.
thank you to everybody that sent in your which is better prompts. We appreciate you. Let's talk about what's going down on Raw. Let's talk about the Wyatt Sicks real quick.
Yeah, sorry everybody.
Yeah, so sorry. We missed probably one of the greatest weeks in wrestling.
We were all gone for the most part.
So we're here now to talk about it. Wyatt Sicks, boys.
Dude, I was very, very skeptical beforehand, and not in like I don't think they'll do well. I was just skeptical because I'm just like, you got to do it tastefully, and I was not expecting the Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy segment to get real. Like that was really good. I like how they asked Bo a tough question, but it wasn't distasteful at all. Like I think it's gonna add. I think if anything, it puts believability in Bo's character going forward. Believability.
Thank you.
Oh, you were sitting on the edge of your seat with that one.
I was feeding.
But yeah, I like where they're going so far. What do you think?
I'm so glad it's good.
Yeah.
I'm so glad it's good. We all were like, oh,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And I think it being skeptical, that's normal. I think, you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's somebody else's creation that you're handling now, or somebody else's like vision that you're handling now. So it's like, it's very rare where you will see somebody take over for something and the quality is just as good. You know what I mean? Like Rick and Morty, for example. I didn't like the new season, you know what I mean? Because it's in somebody else's hands now because the actual actor is not a good person. You know what I mean? So it's like somebody else takes that vision and it's like, I personally didn't like it. It just felt off to me.
No, I get it.
But I mean, it's his brother. You know what I mean? So if anybody's gonna knock it out of the park, it's gonna be him. You know what I mean? And he's doing a fantastic job. I think they all look awesome.
Yeah.
Nikki Cross especially looks fucking awesome.
Terrifying.
Terrifying. She looks like the girl from The Ring.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? So
Nikki Cross underrated when it comes to like spooky stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
I think she's fantastic. I've always thought she's fantastic. And then of course the interview stuff. I think they're doing a great job. I'm excited to see where it goes. I don't know how they're going to incorporate those things into a wrestling match, but I've been strapped in for the last 2 weeks and it's been paying off. So I think they're going to do a the job. I'm excited to see what comes next.
I agree. Everything you guys have said, I agree 100%. The thing, I think the reason why I was most like about it is because you see it more and more in today's age. Like say one of your favorite rappers die, then they just like, they still post music and stuff. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like just let them rest. Mm-hmm. I'm very keen on like let them rest. Like there's no need to like pump out there and like make music off their name or make money off their name and likeness and stuff. So that's why I was very like, okay, I get like what you guys are doing. But the fact that it's in Bo's hands and what they're doing right now is so good, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, I really am curious how they're going to do in-ring stuff because of this. Maybe they get to a part where like they slowly but surely like take off the masks where they can wrestle. So like they expose who they are and they go through their traumas. Maybe like Eric, Rowan gets to talk a little bit and like voice.
I would love that.
Because I feel like he deserves to like have a voice after everything he's been through.
Great point, because now we know that Bo Dallas is Uncle Howdy, so have Uncle Howdy interview everybody.
I think that's exactly where they're heading. I think they're going to slowly but surely interview everybody.
Oh, that's hot.
And I think Eric Rowan should be next.
Okay.
Or even
I would
Nikki.
love that.
Nikki might be the last because she always had that. They're incorporating that like cheesy little jump scare after every little thing.
That shit.
That can kind of fuck off.
That can go.
Respectfully, that jump scare can kind of kick rocks. However, everything else though, like when they first debuted and like the backstage torment was so beautifully done. Mm-hmm. I loved how everything was in disarray. And when you go back to like the entire night of that entire Raw, they were straying away from the backstage area for every segment. Even like the entrances, they wouldn't go into Gorilla. Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
It all was great. I love the dynamic of the rumor of like the people who are on the floor was people who have like abandoned or mistreated family throughout their career. Yeah. You heard about this narrative?
No. Explain that.
So apparently like people saw Dom on the floor in the first segment apparently because like he mistreated his father.
Of course, Chad.
Gunta because he mistreated Giovanni. Mm-hmm. And you say, Chad obviously with mistreating his family. That's what kind of like is what's trickled in.
Interesting.
And it makes sense because like Wyatt Sicks is all about family. And it just makes sense like that's why they're attacking certain people. So that could be the narrative, but I've just seen good things. I want to say, what's her name? Wheezy
Blonde?
Yes, I want to give her credit because I think that's where I saw it from. So Wheezy Blonde, thank you for that. Because like when she said that, I was like, that makes a lot of sense. So shout out to you for that. And I think that's true. I think that makes a lot of sense.
That'd be crazy.
It makes you go, okay, let this cook.
Okay.
What's their first feud? Because it seems like they're going after Chad. Not like going after him, but they did almost kill him. But yeah, like they keep having appearances with him. Like even with Chad Gable qualifying for Money in the Bank, which we'll get to in a little bit. You know, Nikki Cross like comes out right after he wins that match. And I mean, he leaves. They didn't have a crazy interaction, but they keep interacting with Chad. Do we think that's where that's going? Or is there a different plan in mind?
I just don't know, because I don't know, what are they going to do, like Uncle Howdy as the singles guy and like other people as like the tag guys, one guy in the mid card and the women's division, you know what I mean? I don't know how they're going to separate them or if it's just going to be a whole unit like against other teams and stuff. I have no answer for you, to be honest with you. I have no idea. I don't know what a Wyatt Sicks match looks like.
Yeah, we don't have enough info for real.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
We don't even know who the sixth is. There's 5.
There is 5. And
everyone's saying Alexa Bliss.
The fact that she didn't come out with them makes me think that the 6th person's a little bit of a sad answer.
Oh, it's Bray.
Yeah, I think
that. Okay, then that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
I was thinking it could even just be a split personality of like Uncle Howdy and Bo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
butter me up. That's good. That's good.
Because like when they all came out together, there wasn't 6 of them. You know, obviously Bo was Uncle Howdy, but like when they did the interview, they were separated. You know, they did the 2-person and 1-shot thing. So that's what I'm thinking. I think there's only 5 of them, and if they want to add a 6th down the line, because they changed the name of the group too, just how it's spelled. It was like 6-6, and now it's just 6
because it's 5 of them. Because it's only 5.
They're like, shit, guys, we miscounted.
Like, fuck, well, what else are we gonna call it?
Oh shit! Put a C in there. But I like. I mean, they could. How did they not like spin the block on that? Your idea. That makes sense.
I think you're right. I think that's exactly what they did. Because what the fuck does 6 mean?
Yeah.
Damn. They're sickos.
Oh, there you go. They're sick.
They're sick people, I guess. I don't know.
The Wyatt Sicks.
I mean, maybe like a Sister Abigail game. Just please don't do a doll, like a killer doll.
Yeah.
Again.
Maybe they were like the original plan where the 6 came from was like maybe they were gonna do all that same group anyway with the addition of Bray when he was still here, and then maybe after he passed they kept the name and probably were like that's not gonna work.
Well,
yeah,
I think you're right, because his Bray Wyatt's thing was the Wyatt Sicks on, like, that was his Twitter name forever.
You're right. Yeah,
so I think you're right, and I think the 6th person is Bray Wyatt.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised not Alexa Bliss, for real. But when the hell is she coming back?
I don't know. I mean, obviously she has a baby and stuff now. Again,
True.
Well, I don't know if it's a baby anymore. It's still probably pretty young.
Like toddler.
Yeah, it's probably a toddler now or something. But so yeah, who knows if she's coming back? That would be really cool to see her dynamic play in that. To answer your question, I don't know if they do like the Alpha Academy route. That would be a good start, I'd guess. But I want to see like the interview process trickle down to where like we can like see what they look like when they wrestle. Because like, is Uncle Howdy gonna wrestle in just like the mask, kind of like how the Fiend did, and no top hat? And I want to see how that plays. I want to see like how legitimate it could be like in the ring. That's what I want to see.
I agree.
That's the next step, is how are they going to wrestle and perform and go for titles and stuff and whatnot. So
might be a little bit of a hot take, but I don't know if I even want them to win any titles. Because like, I feel like that's kind of what hurt the Fiend in the long run, like was like him having to lose, especially a title, right? So like, I hope it's just like character building, and you just kind of like, you know, the Undertaker went without a title for a long time, and I kind of hope it's just like that. Just tell great stories. Be a champion without a champion. Ship.
you got there.
We got there.
You brought a good point up about the Fiend, because he did win the championship a little too early, but I think that's also Vince's fault.
Yeah, 100%.
Because he debuted, the debut was awesome. I think there was a lot more of a story to tell with what the motivation of the Fiend was, but because of how popular he was and how much merch he was selling and how much people just wanted to see the Fiend in the Firefly Funhouse universe, they put him in the main event. And they had no intention of having him main event at WrestleMania. They had no intention of, having him go on this long championship run, but they put him against Seth Rollins because that's a big match, this new thing. But they were like, oh, we can't beat him. Don't put him in the match then. Mm-hmm. So then everyone freaked out. So they were like, fuck, now we got to give him the championship. And then they were like, well, we need to do WrestleMania plans now. So Goldberg, let's do this. It was an unfortunate thing. Yeah, it's not. It was a booking's fault. And I think that the Wyatt Sicks doesn't need a championship. You look like you're in agonizing pain over there, brother.
Yeah, because it just it makes me think. I just wish that it was in the Paul Levesque era with Bray as the Fiend. Like, granted, it was like some of the greatest character work of all time. Don't get me wrong. However, it could have been way better done.
I think once you tell that story, you know what I mean? Once you get their fully developed character and what they want, then maybe you can give them a title for a little while, because then you can tell the story of how you beat this thing. You know what I mean? Rather than just a couple of spears and a jackhammer. So I think somebody from Uncle Howdy could definitely win a championship, whatever that may be, at some point. Not for a long time, though.
I'll tell you what, though.
To breathe.
You need a really good protagonist to this antagonist story if you're going to ever give them a title and have someone take it off of them, like a Cody Rhodes, for example. They could play the family dynamic there hard.
Yeah, that's true.
They could do the whole brother angle, oh, you lost your dad, I lost my brother. They could run that family thing. That could be a WrestleMania moment.
Sami Zayn as well, I think.
Right?
I think if you did like them versus Sami Zayn, his babyface persona, and just I think that would be,
you know what I'm saying?
Huge.
I think that's what's so special about Paul and what he's doing is, oh my God, like you just think about all these guys that could have a great run because of the storytelling of the Wyatt Sicks and what they could do with so many superstars. Because you're actually getting to see like what that superstar has to offer, and you can like finally like peel back all the layers per se of like their character, and that's what Wyatt would be able to that's what they would be able to do, and I am really excited to see what they could do.
Yeah,
like I know how you say like you don't want them to have a championship, however, they need a goal, and maybe their goal could be like obviously like fixing people, like what they think they're fixing. However, maybe Bo has a different narrative, like he wants to win that title that his brother won, and he wants to hold it longer. He wants to protect it. He wants to, do the. He could have.
I can get down with that.
He could have a whole thing. Another customized title, maybe, but even better. Who knows? Like they could run. Like I think Bray walked, so maybe that this could run. I don't know, because this was his dream.
Now that I think about it, they're not heels; they're faces.
Wyatt Sicks?
Yeah.
They're over as piss.
Well, not even that. I mean, they're going after heels. Chad Gable's a heel. You know what I mean?
That's
fair.
They're having very dark undertone stories. So it's very and Bray did the same thing. So I don't know. I don't know what their plans are. They do a lot of malicious stuff. I don't know what their plan is, but I think you're right.
Maybe it's just them versus everybody.
I think they'll be I think they're face. I think, maybe tweeners. They're tweeners.
Yeah.
They could do shitty stuff, but also like, to shittier people.
Yeah, I have a lot of trust in Triple H's WWE. I feel like a lot of me being skeptical just comes from me being burned by Vince McMahon in the past. You know what I'm saying?
How many years?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think like being skeptical of the Wyatt Sicks before they debuted had anything to do with Triple H. Like after seeing how they went about it these first couple of weeks, I'm like, yeah, we really gotta give it a chance. And that goes for anything that we see like nowadays too in WWE. Like kind of going to SmackDown a little bit, like the stuff with the new bloodline. I didn't hate it at first, but I wasn't completely on board because of Solo. But now that there's more people in, you got Jacob, you got Tama. What's the other guy's name?
Tamaloga?
Tongaloa.
Tongaloa.
Yeah, Tongaloa.
Sorry, I butchered that. Tamaloga. What is it?
Tongaloa.
I said Tama. It's Tonga.
Okay. They don't make him seem important. They
don't.
He's not even in the match at Money in the Bank. Jacob Fatu is. They have him on the outside.
Oh yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, but going back to like the trust thing, like I wasn't completely on board, but when you just like give it a second with Triple H's WWE, you see where they're going. And like now that the crowd is like really behind like Roman Reigns, like they want Roman. And that pop when he comes back is going to be disgusting. We've talked about it many times, but like especially with them killing Paul Heyman. Like,
oh my God.
You know, like I'm more on board now than I was a couple of weeks ago to see where this new bloodline story is going. Because once Roman comes back, you're going to have Jimmy come back, possibly Jay helping out. It's going to be insane.
Shout out to two people. The legitimacy of Jacob Fatu. Mm-hmm. He is what is elevating this new bloodline.
100%.
I'll say it. And Paul Heyman. Because Paul Heyman is driving this up the mountain. He's doing such a good job of the storytelling. One of the biggest pops of the night was him saying, "You are not my tribal chief." The crowd's like, "Paul, you're our guy. We love you so much. Oh my God, you got murdered." He took it like a champ. He took the fucking triple power bomb, fucking the splat, everything. Shout out Paul Heyman, man. I like this story. I love the progressive story of like the redness in his eyes. It looks like he just can't sleep. He's just groggy. He is. Dude,
apparently he didn't sleep. Like actually, like in real life, he did not sleep so that his eyes could be that red. Like dedication to the character. I don't know how true that is, but I can believe it.
Dude, because he's him, man. He's been in the business for so long. Obviously, clearly Hall of Famer. He knows what he's doing. I love him so much, bro.
Crazy.
He's so good at what he does. Just roll it up, brother. Hey, just hit this real quick. Like, no, dude, those two people right there was like giving it that that longevity it needs. It's that violent push into, these guys are serious.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited now that we're finally here. So we're like, now each week it's going to be progressive boos and like, oh shits. And like, here we go. Like more reactions will finally be introduced. And also, shout out Jacob Fatu. Welcome. We haven't been able to talk about that yet. Mm-hmm. I love the Samoan Werewolf. I love that.
That's a solid nickname.
The theme song, I feel like I will eventually get behind. I need to listen to it a couple more times. Have you guys heard it?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think it's.
Yes,
I need to listen to it again.
I was
by
scared
itself.
it was going to be worse. I actually like it.
Why is that?
There's a certain individual.
We are.
No, I was just afraid it was going to be very bad. But I think I can definitely get behind that when he comes out to it multiple times.
They gave him a solid entrance too.
They did. They fire, right?
Yeah.
They gave him fire.
got pyro.
They gave him fire.
They didn't do that for Tongaloa.
Let me tell you something.
No, he's
What the
crawling.
fuck, Tongaloa?
Everyone else, all y'all other boys, just go crawl around.
Let me tell you something. Crawl around.
Tell me something.
I have not seen much of Jacob Fatu's work in MLW or anything else. I've seen like a couple things. He's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
he's awesome.
he's a beast.
So
He's
good.
awesome.
When he talks, because when you hear Tama Tonga and even Tongaloa talk and Solo for real, it's just it's very like I don't want to say it's bad. I'm not gonna say it's bad, but it's not as good as Jacob Fatu. He has so much energy.
Jacob puts energy into it. I think that's what it is. Like I feel like a lot of wrestlers have that it's not so much that they're yelling, but you can hear the passion in it. Like Sami Zayn is one of those. Like when he's cutting a promo, you can feel it. Kevin Owens, you can feel it. Randy Orton, when he's fired up, you can feel it. And I think the same thing goes with Jacob Fatu.
Cody too.
Yes, 100%.
You need that, bro. You need that believability. The fans need to believe you when you're speaking, bro. They need to get behind your shit. They're like soft, well-spoken Samoans is like as far as, Solo and whatnot, whatever. But like when Jacob speaks, bro, it's like it's got a little bit of fucking gangster behind him.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna punch you in your fucking face. And I'm gonna mean that shit. And you're like, I believe that shit. Like, and when you speak, bro, like when he speaks, it opens his mouth, bro. You're like, you're behind it. And that's why you fuck with it, because you believe every word he says and you can see it in his eyes. He means what he says.
And I mean, like, Triple H and the entire creative team did an incredible job with his debut. Like,
absolutely.
You can believe in Jacob Fatu because he took out the 3 top baby faces on SmackDown. Like,
sure did.
That's immediate believability. And, like, killed Cody Rhodes.
He's so athletic, bro.
Yeah.
He's so athletic for his size, and that's what makes he's just so good, bro. Jacob is so phenomenal in the ring.
He's doing moonsaults off cages, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, he's incredible, bro.
What the fuck?
Dude, he's incredible. He's gonna change the game.
Yeah, I could see him holding a world title at some point. Like, honestly, come on. Like, I think he'll win that before Solo.
I promise you, bro. Solo, like, no disrespect, but you're gonna get brushed off real fast. I'd see why they waited to bring Jacob in.
Oh yeah,
man, he's awesome.
He's incredible.
He is. I want to quickly talk about Money in the Bank before we wrap up. So we have like one person left in each Money in the Bank matches. I'll go through the list real quick. So for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, we have Io Sky, we got Naomi, we got Lyra, we got Chelsea Green, and Tiffany Stratton. And then there's one spot left. And then for the men, we have LA Knight, Chad Gable, Jey Uso, Andrade, and Carmelo Hayes. Who is the last person that you want to be in those matches?
So the triple, I can tell you the triple threats from both matches.
Tell me,
yes, please do.
The women's one that's happening on Monday is actually both are happening on Monday. The women's and the men's. I think SmackDown's done. Yeah. It's Dakota, Zoe Stark, and Ivy Nile. That's a triple threat. I'd say Ivy Nile's not winning that match. I'd like Dakota Kai to win. I could also see them giving it to Zoe Stark.
It better be Dakota, bro.
I think it should be Dakota, but I wouldn't be surprised if Zoe Stark won.
That's fair.
I would like it to be Dakota.
Yeah,
I would love it to be Dakota.
I would like it to be Dakota because not only does she deserve it, but that clip of her on Twitter,
On Twitch.
Oh yeah, on Twitch. Yeah,
She was pleading to her stream.
Did you see that?
I did see that.
Yeah, that. I won't even lie, it influenced me a little bit because I'm like, she does deserve it, man. And you could tell how much she like genuinely cares. Plus, like Io's in the match, so like having like a team in there would be cool.
A little bit of stank.
It also makes me believe because I wouldn't believe Zoe Stark would win that briefcase.
Not at all.
I think Dakota Kai might have a chance. To win it for real. So that's the one on the women's side. The men's triple threat that's happening on Monday is Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, and Ilya Dragunov.
Oh my God, I didn't even know that. Holy fuck.
Oh yeah.
They're going to kill each other.
But with your theory,
let me tell you exactly what's about to happen in Money in the Bank.
Tell them right now. Tell the fans what you told us.
Drew McIntyre has said on past episodes of Raw that when he wins the Money in the Bank brief, he's going to Money in the Bank, he's going to win the Money in the Bank briefcase, and he's going to cash in on the same night to get the title back that CM Punk screwed him out of. I think he's winning this triple threat on Monday. I think he's winning the Money in the Bank briefcase. I think he cashes in on the same night against either Damian Priest or Seth Rollins. And I think CM Punk costs him his cash in.
Dude.
I think they burn the Mr. Money in the Bank briefcase night one.
No way.
We have a thing. WWE has a thing where they don't like to have two briefcases at the same time for that long.
That's very true.
They burned the women's one like on the same night about 4 times.
They always burn the women's.
Always. And we just got out of 2 really long Mr. Money in the Bank runs with Austin Theory and Damian Priest. I think it's time we have a short men's reign.
He's cooking.
You're cooking.
And I think it's time.
I hate it.
When Tiffany or Chelsea wins, when one of them wins, they're gonna hold it for a while because I don't think either of them are ready.
So
to win a
adds to their
championship.
character too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So adds.
So I think the men's one's getting burned quick.
You might be right.
This son of a
it's Drew
bitch is right, bro. Hey, all the kids, I'm so sorry they're going to WWE shop, typing in Yeet in the Bank, and it won't pop up because that dream might get shot in the face. If it wasn't, I think they're getting that out of their system with the poster. I think that was the dead giveaway. You put the brother on the poster with the Yeet in the Bank, it's probably not looking too good.
Dead giveaway, boys.
Dead giveaway.
Oh, yeah.
Because if it's not Drew, it's going to be Jey Uso, I think. What are the names again?
What if it's a sneaky LA Knight? Because I think he's past his due. Because last year, everyone and their mother thought it was LA Knight.
Only reason I say it's not LA Knight is because
Logan.
on SmackDown he pinned Logan, which was sick as fuck. I really like that moment. But he pinned Logan, so that gives him a shot for the U.S. title without him needing to win Money in the Bank.
SummerSlam.
Yeah, 100%.
Easily.
Aaron thinks Carmelo Hayes is going to win.
Yeah, I could see that.
That would be cool, but if the burning angle's fire.
The names again were LA Knight, Chad Gable, Jey Uso, Andrade, and Carmelo.
Out of all those people, it's only Jey Uso I can actually see with the briefcase. I don't think you think he could. Yeah,
Yeah, I was just about to say.
I think Chad Gable would be sick with the bank.
Yeah, yeah. I think
That angle.
Here's what I think. I think Drew will win, and be in the Money in the Bank ladder match, but I think Punk cost him the Money in the Bank ladder match itself.
That's not a terrible idea.
I think Drew was about to unhook it. CM Punk pushes him off the ladder or something like that. I think that's probably where it's going. But I could see your thing happening.
I agree with you that that's probably what should happen because it makes sense. Why wouldn't he just interfere in the ladder match itself? But man, he said explicitly, "I'm cashing on the same night." He didn't say I'm going to cash in and be world heavyweight champion again. He said it's the same night. And I'm like, he's telling you it's going to happen.
I think you're cooking on that.
So now everybody's going to sit there the whole show after, the rest of the show be like, oh my God, he's going to cash in on
Drew or Seth. You don't know who's going to win.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
It's just like, oh my God, like when is Drew going to come out?
Oh my God, dude. Seth's been burned on that before too. Because when Seth returned from his knee injury against Roman, he won the title and then Dean came out and cashed in on him. And this is a Money in the Bank pay-per-view. He comes back from a knee injury. Is he going to win and get cashed in on? Who knows? You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
And it's another instance where Seth, CM Punk, and Drew are all entwined with the Money in the Bank and the world title.
I'm calling that now.
That's great.
I was very wrong about
Good
Jey
story.
Uso winning King of the Ring, so I could just be fucking totally wrong. Drew fucking Ilya Dragunov could win on Monday.
I'm cool with that too.
I'm cool with that.
I'm really curious with Chad being in this, right? With that whole angle of because Maxine says she cares, she's glad that he's okay. They're playing that thing, and all of a sudden the Creed brothers sneak around in frame. I'm so wondering where that's going, by the way, just real quick. Because they're going to be, it's either going to be Creed's going to be involved, Alpha Academy, or both are going to be involved in that match somehow to either help or prevent Chad from winning that briefcase to build a story towards SummerSlam, I think.
Either
Either help him, because you know what I mean? If Chad wins that briefcase, he's going to be like, fuck y'all, I'm better without you. This is proof. Da, da, da. You know what I mean?
Dude, after seeing Chad win and be in the Money in the Bank ladder match, my answer slowly changed. I want, and it's just because I like Chad Gable a lot, and I think he deserves it. But
yeah.
I kind of want Chad Gable to win.
Okay.
I kind of want Chad to win.
I so want to see that. I so want to see your angle because your angle is cooked to perfection.
I think the McIntyre and Punk feud is hot enough for them to not even have to do that.
I agree. I hate burning the bank.
Yeah.
I hate it. But it makes a lot of sense to do it. I don't understand why they've never really had two people run with the thing for a minute. Has it ever happened, right?
Not for longer than a month.
Right.
Yeah.
So
The women's Money in the Bank success rate is 100% too. Everyone who's cashed in has won.
instantaneous. The last one was SummerSlam with EO.
Yeah.
So they had a pretty.
He'll hold it for a little bit.
It was
a month because it was August. Oh my God, yeah.
Oh,
It was a
yeah.
month.
Oh, yeah.
We were there.
Carmella held it for a long time.
She'll do that shit for him.
But the men's was burned.
Corbin burned it on us.
It was the
And
SmackDown.
lost.
Yes, and lost.
That was before SummerSlam. It was the SmackDown before SummerSlam.
It
I'm
was.
pretty sure.
Yes.
So that happened, and then they had a bunch of people cash in the same. Bliss cash in the same night.
Yep.
Bailey cash in the same night.
Yep.
Becky left.
Liv Morgan.
So she gave it to Asuka.
Liv on Ronda.
Liv, and then who was 21?
Was it
Nikki ASH on Raw.
She cashed
on
in
Raw.
the very next night.
On Raw. Yep.
So yeah, and then we had EO cash in a month later, and then when all those other things happen, or when those things happen, the men seem to hold it.
I'm saying because Brock won that weird out of nowhere, and he was doing the dancing with the
He held it for a little
or
bit.
whoever that guy is.
Who was that? Yeah, who won the 2019 Money in the Bank?
Mustafa?
I remember he was on the ladder, and then it just my brain just.
I just woke up.
I just woke up.
but yeah, that whole angle was that the year that the Kofi thing happened.
What? Where Brock won the?
No,
briefcase?
that was 20. Oh.
No, yeah.
Did he cash in and then it was on Kofi?
He cashed in on Rollins, and then Rollins beat him a month later, and then
Oh,
Brock
yeah.
just went to SmackDown and was like, "Hey, Kofi."
Hey, Kofi. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Oh my God.
8 seconds, dude. Why? Just have a match.
Let's just talk about a lot of whys. That's why you feel burned, brother.
For real.
Speaking of burn, Hell in the Cell. Fiend and Seth burn us.
Braun Strowman cashed in a Hell in a Cell match. Remember how that match ended?
Yep.
Yeah.
No
Jesus.
contest.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because somebody interfered in that match. I don't remember
Who the hell was that guy?
Who the hell? Yeah.
Slowly turning into the next John Cena. Can't see him anywhere. Where's he at? But yeah, we had an eventful talk, boys.
Oh, yes.
I feel like we went off track a lot, but that's my fault.
That's
so I'm sorry.
no, that's what. Hey, when we have 3 guys, that's what happens.
Yeah.
3 guys.
Well, thank you guys for watching.
We always end on something so sus, dude. Every time. We can never get it done.
That is my goal, to end on something sus.
We need a 4th
Jared,
guy.
Where can I find you?
I was about the bit, bro. I was about to be like, we need a 4th guy. I heard Dijack's looking for a job.
Damn.
I'm so sorry, dude. I was trying to find a way just to at least talk about it for like just a split second. Then
So I'm telling me Jack's not going to be employed for a little while.
All right,
He's taking booking.
Yo, can we? No, can we? All right, that's not. It wasn't supposed to be a dig. It was just supposed to be a segue to talk about that. But we're done.
No, real quick though, they did fumble Dijack hard.
That's a fumble.
Jared, where can they find you?
Find me on YouTube. Small Afro is my channel.
You can find me at Brent Oakley and the Brent Oakley on social media platforms.
And you can find me at BD on YouTube, and you can find me everywhere else there. And we are out.